The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They start the drive with Cook. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms. But I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on third down, 3 and out. Something that the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Cousins. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Fourth down, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. First down, here's the run with Cook. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. They had great great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. To throw is Cousins. And it's caught. Touchdown. Ben Ellefson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. They'll start on the ground with Swift. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now they'll look to Willis to pass it here. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Willis. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in there, break on the football. Go make the play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether there's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
18 Cardinal.
Going on 4th down. Here's Willis. Man open. It's St. Brown. He's got it. And he's going to have the Lions first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. It's a gain of 4 that time. And it'll be 1st down Detroit. Ready? 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The Lions at 9-3 here on the year. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 48 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now they'll look to Willis to throw. That's going to be caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have got it back to within a score. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
Play action now. Cousins. That is caught by Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 23 yards the pickup there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A give left side to Cook. They find some open field here. 20. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. A big play there out of Cook. 43 yards. Boy, the word with Dalvin Cook is explosiveness. I'm not sure there's anybody in the league that has the acceleration that he does, and he put it to good effect there. They'll run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. They will run straight ahead with Swift. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Willis. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 74 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. First down throw for Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
That's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
I guarantee they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Touchdown, Vikings! Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings take a 3-touchdown lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Willis's throw taken in by Hawkinson here. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there, because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Willis to throw once more. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Play action. Here's Willis. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Here's Willis now off the play fake. That is into the hands of Hawkinson downfield. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hawkinson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime. Joseph connects on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Lions 14. Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Looking deep for Hilton. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Last play of the half, Willis. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Willis now off of play action. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st. Play action, Willis. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Brandon, you know more about quarterbacks protecting themselves, but I have to admit it, I liked what I just saw there. That rookie wasn't afraid of absorbing a big hit. Now, you don't want to see him taking those shots all game long, but he picked up the first down, kept fighting for yards, and was willing to embrace some contact to keep the play moving.
They go play action with Willis. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be an even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 50-yard line.
They run the counter with Cook. And some room to maneuver. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 92 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And past the 30, down to about the 27.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Play fake. Cousins. Here's Johnson with a reception. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Cousins. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins, a 6-yard touchdown run, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
42, Lions 14. Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. So 2nd and 10 now here in the 3rd quarter from Detroit. 2nd down throw coming by Willis. And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. 3rd down, it's Willis. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Trying for it on 4th down. Here's Willis. He's got a man complete. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Detroit. T.Y. Hilton, 77 yards. And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Keneduagu now out of his end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. 30. 10. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Man, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone.
But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
From the end zone, here comes Williams.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much... Willis throws another interception, his third of the game. Andrew Booth picks it off, and the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning, threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Left side, Cook. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10.
113 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Cousins. Touchdown!
Dalvin Cook, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From the 10.
Oh, good return up past the 30.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10.
Out to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
It's Ross Blacklock who earns the sack.
Well, I wish the staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the 4th quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
Looking deep for Hilton. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cook up the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
It's a gain of 13.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. 4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph for Minnesota. From the right hash, this from 45, then it's a fake. He's going to throw it. Now a throw caught by one of their linemen. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Vikings extend this 4th quarter lead, and they are getting closer and closer to win number 11. Joseph connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Lions 21. Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From the end zone, here comes Williams.
The Lions take over 1st and 10. At their own 17.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
1st and 10 at the 45.
Swift going to try up the middle. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Meanwhile, Willis throws complete there to St. Brown. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43. Give them 18 on the play.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
A higher-scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared, but executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So for the Vikings,